So there are times in our lives where people are not going to get you, and they're not going to understand you, and they're not going to be able to meet the need that you have for connection. And this is the time when it's so vitally important for you, for all of us, to connect within. Because within, we have the fulfillment that we seek outside of ourselves. We have been, when we find ourselves alone and lonely, we have been unconsciously engineering our lives for that experience. Because it is about relationship, and feeling connected and feeling together requires you to be vulnerable, requires us to say yes to risking our heart, our love. However, when we fill ourselves up from the inside out, when we come from a place of fullness inside, then what we notice, it's like such a miraculous miracle, all of the people that show up in our lives, because we took the time to nurture and nourish ourselves first. And as you nurture and nourish yourself in the ways that really mean the most to you, that really matter to your well-being, loneliness becomes something of the distant past. You find yourself spontaneously in situations of joy and connection and expansion together. And you see that people who can see you, really see you for who you are, show up in your life and embrace you. And sometimes they meet a need that is so deep within you, that's so unconscious. And this can only happen because you say yes to being vulnerable to yourself first. Being willing to admit that I feel lonely, or that I feel alone, that I feel sad, that I feel disconnected. I don't know where I belong. I don't know if I matter. I don't know if I matter to anyone on the planet. I look around and I don't see people that care about me, that are here for me when I need someone. This is an engineered life of safety, my love. An engineered life of safety keeps you separate from people, keeps you separate from yourself. It keeps you separate from life. It keeps you separate from everything that you're here to experience and expand. You are meant to feel so alive and so connected to every particle of life. You're meant to know how worthy you are, and how by your heart beating and your breathing impacts so many people. It's not always about just what you do. It's about who you are. And it's time to come home in the center of love, here, now, the most vulnerable place that any of us can touch into. Yes, yes. It's hard, right? It's scary because it's raw, because it's unknown. That's where the magic lives.